Thanks for joining us. I'm Alex Payne. Be prepared to witness extraordinary efforts of dedicated individuals helping animals in trouble. Let's begin our show with this amazing animal rescue true story. Firefighters in Georgia rushed to the scene of a burning office complex. Flames and smoke engulfing the structure. Occupants of the building have evacuated the premises, but firefighters spot several goslings in a back pool and know they need to be rescued quickly.
I noticed that they were swimming. There were 5 of them. I noticed that they were swimming back and forth in a swimming pool that was located right next to the building. The only thing was, they were still babies. They could swim, but they couldn't fly. So all they could do was just swim back and forth, one after another. And initially when I saw them, it wasn't of great concern because our firefighters were trying to put the fire out. There's no use in having 2 losses, so I quickly took off my jacket and took off my shoes, emptied my pockets, and actually got into the swimming pool, which is where the goslings were swimming. I had to actually chase them because they actually started swimming fast. Obviously, I wasn't neither of the parents, so I needed to chase them for just a brief period of time. But then actually, once I got in the water, I just simply scooped them up with the palm of my hand and gave them to another firefighter. And I did this with all 5 of the goslings. Again, they all scattered in different directions, so I just had to swim just a little bit to catch up to them. Well, interestingly enough, I noticed that the goslings were a little brown, and I was thinking it was because some debris had fallen on them, but actually, with all the swimming that they were doing back and forth next to the building, some of the radiant heat had kind of heated them up just a little bit. So without a shadow of a doubt, had they been in there longer, they for sure might not have made it because the fire was still quite warm. In fact, the pool water was rather warm from the heat that was coming from the fire. So had they stayed in there a little bit longer, it might not have been a good outcome. Actually, they seem to be in great health. Again, they were under the supervision of their mother and father goose, if you will, but they had flown away, so they were by themselves. So actually, once I captured them, I handed them off to another firefighter. He, in turn, put them in like a bucket or a trash can. He gave the trash can back to me, and then I walked around from the building that was on fire to a nearby pond where the mother and father were. And very strategically, I waited until they turned around and then allowed the gosling to swim into the pond. And it was when the first gosling hit the water, he made a cry for his mom and dad, and then they turned around and I quickly left. It was a great opportunity. It showed our versatility with our firefighters in being able to move from one task to another. And it just so happened that I was the one that went ahead and took the first step in trying to make this happen. And as a result, mother and father goose were happy. The gosling, I just happened to drive by that location the other day. The gosling, they are growing leaps and bounds. They're half the size of their parents. So it was definitely a good move on our part to go ahead and save them.
These tiny critters are saved thanks to a compassionate fireman and his colleagues.